What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Sue here, your esoteric empress, back at you with another great video. Definitely like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have, welcome back, because I am a part of a school group, like on social media, like WhatsApp or whatever group, which I've been contemplating leaving for a long time now. And just like family members, sometimes, you think your schoolmates, your old schoolmates were like, you develop a certain bond, and so you're like, oh my gosh, like you love them, but you hate them at the same time. I know a lot of people put me through hell in high school, but some people, just based on the conversation I had yesterday, the small mini movie, they're talking about mask wearing, we're talking about the protocol, the social distancing, all this kind of stuff, right? And so the person who I got into it with, they are an officer of the law, an enforcer. Obviously, I would get into it with people like that. Now, I had an occasion where I've been into it, a large movie just months ago with like a family member who I was with, and they did not agree 1% with what I was talking about. The guy was like, oh, well, nobody's out there forcing people to wear masks. Nobody's out there forcing people to be vaccinated. No one's out there doing that. And I had to just chime in, that's a lie, because guess what? Every day, I am bombarded by people who are so paranoid, who are in fear for their lives, okay? Because your girl needs a breath of fresh air. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like I said, coons are all over the place. I said coons. Yes, I used the word coon. Coon. If you don't know what that word means, look it up. It's a very popular word. It's been around for a very long time. And there are lots of them parading around this place looking like normal citizens, and they are coons. So I said there are coons all over the place, like screaming, put up your mask, where's your mask, put on your mask, mask, right? To which, in a certain sense, I understand. But then, of course, to a larger degree, I am in need of air. Okay? I live above water. I have 2 lungs. I need to breathe, yo. And nobody's gonna take that away from me, beside whoever created me, whoever put me here. In 1 year, you're not gonna go around and force me or persecute me because I cannot breathe. You remember, George, these things were signs and clues for a very long time. In hindsight, when you go back in your mind and you think about it, or you go back through the news, you see old clips, you can see how this thing was formulated. Now, I know, don't come for me, y'all, because I'm not even getting into that part of the debate. The debate is when a person needs to breathe, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be that scared of the law to sit there and pass out from strangulation, suffocation, like smother yourself literally? Because the government says so, or because the person beside you feels threatened, like you're going to harm their health. So anyways, this is what your boy says. Your boy's like, oh, well, speak English. Who you talking about? Like, who you referring to as the coon? Who's coons, right? And I said coons are people who are willing to just lap up whatever bullshit the government throws down at them on the floor and tells them to eat. They're quick to do it because that is all they live for, is to follow orders and instructions, emergency orders to be exact. So this got into a whole back and forth thing. It wasn't, like I said, it was a small movie, because I had a golden roast cup of coffee. Your girl was a little lit, but I wasn't extremely out there, extremely passionate, excited about this thing, getting so frustrated and angry. Clearly, he got angry because he's like, oh, these things, after it ran on for so long, not that, about maybe 5-10 minutes it ran on. And he's like, oh, well, clearly when people don't have any real argument or whatever, they resort to memes. Trust, my memes mean a lot. And so the memes that I responded with towards the end of the debate, said it all, because it's like, you're not going to change my mind, bro. If I need to breathe, I need to breathe. And this is where I want to get your opinions, guys. I want to find out how you feel about this whole thing, how you feel about this mask thing. Like, okay, I know people have been affected around the world, greatly around the world, by COVID. I know that. I understand that. I know people, not directly, well, kind of directly, but still indirectly, who had it, but they recovered because their systems were strong enough to recover. It's like, they had a bad case of the flu or whatever. I know persons who succumbed to it, not directly, of course, because their systems were weakened, compromised, whatever, right? Older people, people with pre-existing conditions, the pregnant, nursing, all of these kinds of categories of people who are easily susceptible to picking up viruses. So I get it. All right, don't try to blast me, but I'm saying, if you need to breathe, like, let's just say you're just crossing the street with like 6-8 bags of grocery in your hand, right? And you're like rushing because like it's almost dark. You're like, oh Lord, how am I gonna get home, right? And then you just do this, like, oh my. Or you have multiple things to do. You have errands to run. You're doing a bunch of things in the middle of the summer. It's July, y'all. It's hot. All right. You pull it down. You're like, oh my God. Yes, thank you. Somebody comes and pull your mask up. Pull your mask up. Oh, you need a mask. Oh, see, that's why we need police. That's why we need this around here, because people ain't following the orders. This is why people picking up, transmitting this disease all over the place. No, bitch. No, bitch. Because if you look at the statistics, I have done a lot of research on this stuff, but I have not the resources right now to upload it to this video right now. But there's like the ratio of persons who've contracted, especially in the country, in my country, worldwide, or in the US or in Europe, okay? The ratio of people who've contracted it, the ratio of people who've recovered, the ratio of people who've died, the ratio of people who've been vaccinated, the ratio of people who've been vaccinated twice. Everything, the ratios do not add up. They don't match. They never have, okay? They probably never will. Because why? This thing, we know, is to keep us all in fear. This is to control our lives. This is to control the world. This is to make this thing a one world order. This is for so many myriad of reasons. You will be blown away. But when persons out there are blaming other innocent people who are just simply going to the grocery store for the counts increasing, they have to be out of their damn minds. Because this whole time when the country was shut down, the whole time when people were like forced into quarantines, when people was locked in for like 2 weeks at a time, locked into their house, there were people traveling, which I know firsthand, because the source of my information was very reliable, very, 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 very reliable, all right, and very close to me. Frolicking, galloping about beaches, coming in on private planes, charters. There were no commercial flights, but charters were still flying each and every day, in and out, all right? Now, these persons, obviously, most of them were not of a certain race or class, let me put it like that. However, they were still free to roam. They just had to be cautious about how they gathered, where they gathered, all of these kinds of stuff. So this thing goes to show that what is good for the goose is not always good for the gander. So anyways, so this is another thing that your boy said was, oh, well, if he had the power, I said, thank God people like you don't rule this country, because he said, well, either wear your mask, social distance, and wash your hands, otherwise stay home. And my daddy dead, bro. Anyway, that's why I said I'm going to come on here and I'm going to talk about this with my spirit fam, because most people, I have like spiritual groups that I'm a part of, more esoteric groups and stuff. However, some of the groups that I am in, they are totally superficial, totally like about this world thing, totally like on one level. They are not ever going to dive deeper than that level in those groups. So I don't expect them to see things exactly my way, as the conspiracy theorist that I am. Not ignoring the fact that people are actually are victims of this, because this thing has not only done us in like emotionally, you know, physically, financially, psychologically, like so many ways this thing has affected us in a negative manner. It has affected us also in a positive manner, the only way being that we have to become more self-sufficient. We have to actually think outside of the box a little bit more now, a lot more now, because not only is this happening, the shift has actually occurring right now, whereas things are different. We are actually seeing things from a higher level. We are actually tapping into energies that once we weren't able to tap into. And so this is the time. This is the time. And I'm so thankful that we are actually a part of this time. But at the same time, it's like some of us are elevating or advancing, and some of us are actually going backwards. Some of us are falling way behind. Because this thing is about dividing people, I feel like, because eventually you're going to have persons who are warring with each other, just like the Democrats and Republicans, like warfare. We have the spiritual warfare. Now we have the pandemic, like emergency order warfare, anti-mask and pro-masks people. Because I will wear my mask. I am not like a complete anarchist or public terrorist or whatever, but at the same time, I definitely need to breathe, and I am all for your inherent right as a being human on this planet, to breathe, to fresh air, to see. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below like how you feel about this whole thing, and I may come back with another like part to this video, because this can go on forever. But right now I want to hear how your feelings are, where you live, what are the protocols, what are the orders, what are like, how are things going, is the count increasing for you guys, like what's happening? I want to hear from you personally what's going on. And I definitely respond to comments, and so do not hesitate to drop them below. Questions, anything else you may want to see me talk about on this channel, be sure to drop that below as well. That is your energetic support, as well as you liking and subscribing to the channel. Do comment, leave your feedback. Okay, so guys, love you for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you when I'm back with another great topic. So until I'm back, I'm gonna say peace out, blessed be, namaste.